Yeah, so the whole idea of conflict, and if we don't like conflict or we don't know how to manage conflict, that's going to come up as a barrier. And so if you really want to go after your big dream, you need to understand how to deal with conflict. So we're going to include that in the course as like a bonus. Not only will this help you with going after your big dream, but it's going to help you with your relationships. It's going to help you with your business, because there's conflicts in life. There's always conflicts. There's conflicts within ourselves, and we either deal with them or we project them on other people, and we don't deal with them. So the whole idea of managing conflict is going to scale your entire life.
When I think of a life being lived with abundance and the utmost joy, it is a life full of balance. And when we experience not so great things in the form of conflict, we have a tendency of how we deal with that conflict, how we deal with that lack of balance. And we're going to teach people in this course how to deal with those conflicts, how to get rebalanced with the things that are out of balance. And there's a lot of fears there. There's a lot of tendencies, there's a lot of habits of the way that we normally tend to conflict. And is it really serving us? I think most people will admit that it's not, but they don't know another way. So this is a course that will work on and practice the embracing of conflict, because conflict is such a key part to get to where we want to go, how we manage, how we navigate, how we actually approach that. And we can set and be the example for other people. Sometimes we think that other people have to play along with our game or have to participate or have to agree with what we want. Their disagreement or their abrasiveness when we share certain things or when we go after our big dreams and our big goals is exactly what we need. It's here to serve us in a certain way. And just by adopting that lens, we can take approaches here to navigate conflict in a different way so that we can close the gap between our goals and the potential of them.
So you'll know because the whole idea of being excited and motivated from within, if you have that, if you're motivated from within and you're pursuing what that dream is, you don't need this course. If you're not waking up with that excitement to improve on whatever it is you're working on, that's really like a childhood dream, then this course is for you, because you're missing that animated energy, you're missing that passion, and you'll know because you're probably going after some kind of extrinsic goal versus an intrinsic goal. So extrinsic goals would be money, just to make money. Or maybe some kind of a career goal, which would be maybe a position, just because you want to go as high as you can go. That's more of an extrinsic goal. And when you achieve those things, what happens is you feel good for a couple days, and then you feel like let down almost. Like, I thought this was going to be giving me more than it is, and there's nothing there. It's empty because it's not your dream. It's not your dream.
You'll be a good fit for the group workshop if life feels mundane, if you feel like you're cycling through the same day, if Groundhog Day is a thing in your life, if you're frustrated in your day-to-day activities, if you feel trapped in the way that you participate in your relationships, if you're living in patterns, if you handle conflicts the same way and the same frustrating people and frustrating situations continue to show up. These are all signs that it's time for something different. It doesn't have to be this way. I think a lot of times we accept things for the way that they are. We try to make the best of them. We hope that they go away, and then we find our peace in different ways of escaping or of coping with these situations. We can use that to harness our pursuit of what we really want. And it just takes the decision to say, yes, this is for me. So if you're experiencing any or all of those things, those are good indications that it might be time for something new. It might be time to get back in touch with something that really excites you, that motivates you, that where you wake up and you feel through your body that you're excited to start your day. You're excited to to take action, to connect with people who are in alignment with what you want. And that's possible. Sometimes we forget that that's possible. We're here to remind you that that's possible.
Yeah, that's a key question. That's another way you can find out if this course is for you. Do you give yourself permission to say no to work that really doesn't excite you anymore? It might have excited you for a while, and then you got good at it, and you mastered it, and now it doesn't anymore. But you're not able to let it go. So that's another example of why this course would be good. Anytime you feel stuck, it's typically you're not connected to your dream and you're not going after it. Because that excitement is not about the outcome, it's about the journey that excites you. It's like you love to get better, and it's the practice that helps you feel good about yourself because you're doing something you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. You feel joy just by doing what you're doing.
In my experience, so often I have identified ways that I'm holding up old identities that no longer serve me. So asking questions like, who would you be letting down if you didn't do this work anymore? Why does it matter if you let them down? Why do you care so much about what other people think? You might have a perception that I have to do this work so that I can pay my bills, so that I can live a life. And if you answer that question like that, I just ask you to consider another way, that the universe is supporting you in what you're not wanting. Imagine the universe supporting you in what you actually do want. And quite often we have this belief system that I can't pursue my goals and live the lifestyle that I want. It's not that way. It's quite the opposite. And when we accept this, we begin this transformation, this rolling of the wheels. We set it in motion, that everything starts to align in our lives. And that's where we get really excited. And that's why we want to share this with people, is because once you get a taste of this, you never go back to the other way. And it is so fulfilling, it is so exciting, and it brings the best out of us, and it brings our authentic selves to the plate, and we can swing at fastballs. And that's what we're here to do.
One of the concerns or fears somebody might have is, well, if I pursue my dreams, then I have to leave my job, or it isn't necessarily that dramatic. It's more about how do you show up in your life with your relationships. Are you being true to that dream or not? You can still be in the same role and be connected to your dream and really be a whole different person. A lot of people, I think, are afraid that, well, if I'm really pursuing my dream, I have to move away, I have to be by myself. No, I think that's how we play mind games with ourselves. That isn't necessarily true. It's how do I be congruent with this identity of my dream and not be stuck in other identities that I'm hiding. Yeah, so the promise is, number one, if you aren't fully connected to that dream, you will be. You will find that energy and you will find that animation within you. Promise two would be, you're going to be inspired by others in supporting them in their dreams. And that's going to rebound back to you. So you're going to feel like much more support than you feel now. And then lastly, the promise is you're going to realize how to get really small in terms of what is your target? What are you going after? What's the first thing you're going to do? You got to take small steps, not big steps. So we're going to help you get really clear on what those small steps are. So you create momentum, and then when the course is done, you can continue that momentum.
One skill set that you'll have by the time that you complete our group workshop is that you'll be able to handle conflict with new confidence. You'll have a new lens and a new perspective of what conflict actually means and how you approach it. You'll also be inspired to live in a place of aspiration. We get glimpses of that in our life, but to maintain that or to exist in it is truly something that I can't wait for you to experience. It is another level, another way to live life that, like so many other things, we negotiate out of, or we just agree to live in a smaller place. And you're going to never want to go back to the other place that you were. And the last thing I'll say is that you'll have a new outlook and you'll realize what's possible. And we're truly capable human beings, and not capable of just running through the motions, but of making an impact and a difference in other people's lives. But it starts with doing it ourselves. And once you get a taste of that, you'll just be intoxicated by the possibilities of what you're capable of. And this is what this course is here to remind you of.